Buongiorno! We are here in a tiny little town called Cassago Brianza. We're in northern Italy. We are 40 minutes north of Milan and just south of Lake Como. And this is a very special town because this is where St Augustine spent time with his closest friends, his son and his mother, after he converted to Christianity and before he was awaiting baptism to fully convert to Christianity, where he was baptized by St Ambrose in Milan. And it's really fun to be here because I am actually standing on what they think is the original Cassago, the villa that Augustine spent time with for about 8 months with his close friends and family. And this town is called Cassago Brianza, and in Augustine's day, the town was called Rus Cassagiacum, which is where the villa, the town Cassagiacum gets its name. And there's actually a park dedicated to St. Augustine that you can enjoy, little plaques about his life and his time here. And there's a beautiful church dedicated to him. St. Augustine is the patron saint of Cassago Brianza, where we are now. And there are two things I want to share with you about why St. Augustine matters to us today. First of all, he shows the importance of the great conversation, this iterative conversation with those who have come before us, and because he was in dialogue with those who came before him and very much influenced those who came after him as well. And secondly, his life really embodies some key recipes of a robust intellectual life and really a fulfilled human life, which is friendship. He was here in this time of a really formative time for him with close friends and family, his mother and close friends and son, and also solitude and reflection. That's kind of what this place, this Cassagiacum, represents. So first of all, the great conversation. Augustine was a Neo-Platonist. He was immersed in Platonic theory via Plotinus. We're not sure if he actually read Plato himself. And we see Plato throughout his work. It's kind of just seeped into everything. For example, in his Confessions, it's very introspective, all about the Socratic examined life, and he surveys his conscience for his sins, and he's really striving. He writes his Confessions striving to understand who he is, what his shortcomings are, understanding his sins, and to better lead a meaningful, more richly fulfilled life. And so we know that Augustine was, again, influenced by Plato via Plotinus, an early Roman philosopher, and Augustine went on to influence everyone almost after him, from Aquinas, a major thinker and philosopher and theologian, to both John Calvin and Martin Luther, to even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We know that Dr. King, he quotes St. Augustine. He said, I would agree with St. Augustine that an unjust law is no law at all, as he writes in his famous letter from Birmingham jail. So Augustine really embodies the great conversation, and why it's important for us to know it, know the ideas and the formulations of the people that have come before us, because they make our lives better and help us make better arguments and think more clearly about our own problems today. So Augustine reminds us of the great conversation and why it's important. And secondly, Augustine reminds us of two key ingredients of the intellectual life: friendship and leisure. As I mentioned, he was here at the invitation of one of his friends who had a villa right at this space where I'm standing. So he was here at the invitation of his friend Veracundius, and he spent a very formative time here, just thinking and reflecting and reading deeply about thinking deeply about who he was after this conversion experience, after he was leaving a life of licentiousness and sin, and wanting to pursue a life of morality and virtue, a life sanctified by grace, and a life of the Christian faith. And he did that formative thinking and in relationship with others. We know, God said in Genesis, "It is not good for a man to be alone." The concept of Ubuntu, an African concept and proverb about how a person becomes a person through others. We know that we become fully human in community and in relationship, and we thrive that way, and our intellectual lives thrive that way as well. So friendship, and also solitude. In Civic Renaissance, we've talked a lot about skole, this concept of leisure, and recovering this concept of leisure and reflection. For Augustine, it was this concept of otium, and that was the concept of leisure in the Roman era as well. Seneca actually wrote a whole treatise on called De Auti, which was on leisure, how we should use our leisure time to benefit the human condition. That's leisure is not just idle time; it's benefiting ourselves so we can contribute more fully to life in community with others, to our public life. And so this place kind of represents the necessity of retreating sometimes from life, from just the hubbub, the hurly-burly, the fast-paced, frenetic nature of modern life, and finding solitude and rest in thinking and deep reflection and deep reading and in friendship, and how that can be very soul-nourishing and rejuvenating, and that can lead us to go out and be stronger in life. And we know that that's what St Augustine did. That's how he used this time. He left here, went to Milan, was baptized by St Ambrose, and then he went on to lead an incredibly prolific life, writing many books, many essays on Christian doctrine, City of God, Confessions, and so many more that were incredibly formative for the early Christian thinkers, the church fathers, and the Christian faith, but also philosophers and thinkers across history and across place as well. So I hope that these reflections are useful to you. This is a very, very special place. If you ever make it to the northern Italy area, I encourage you to come visit the park, visit this space. I'd love to help raise funds to excavate this place one day and see. It's totally unexcavated. There's a lot of treasures waiting to be unearthed here, and as you can see the beautiful Swiss Alps behind you, you can kind of imagine why this place was this kind of serene oasis that it was for St. Augustine. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for being here with me today.